We have another important video for you. We all have things we want to achieve in our lives. Being in better shape, building a successful business, raising a wonderful family, writing a best-selling book, winning a championship, and so on. For quite some time, this was how I approached my habits too. Each one was goal-oriented. I set goals for the grades I wanted to get in college, for the amount of writing I wanted to get done in a day, and for the number of chapters I studied each day. I succeeded at a few, but I failed a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with the goals I set and nearly everything to do with the systems I followed. What I realized, however, is that when it comes to actually getting things done and making progress in the areas that are important, there is a much better way to do things. It all comes down to the difference between goals and systems. Let me give you an example from my daily life. I am a writer and my goal is to write a book, but my system is the writing schedule that I follow each week. To elaborate on my point, I just added up the total word count for the articles and journals I've written in a year. In the last 12 months, I've written over 115,000 words. A typical book is about 50,000 to 60,000 words, so I have written enough to fill 2 books this year. And this comes as a surprise because I never set a goal for my writing. I didn't measure my progress in relation to some benchmark. I never set a word count goal for any particular piece of writing. What I did focus on was writing a few pages before going to bed every night or making notes so that I could finish it early in the morning. And after sticking to that schedule for 11 months, the result was 115,000 words. I focused on my system and the process of doing the work. In the end, I enjoyed the same, or perhaps better, results. Let's talk about 3 more reasons why you should focus on systems instead of goals. But before we get into the details, please like this video and subscribe for great videos headed your way. Number 1. Goals reduce your current happiness. When you're working towards a goal, you are essentially thinking in your head, I'm not good enough yet, but I will be when I reach my goal. The problem with this mindset is that you're teaching yourself to always put happiness and success off until the next milestone is achieved. Once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. Once I achieve my goal, then I'll be successful. Solution: commit to a process, not a goal. Choosing a goal puts a huge burden on your shoulders. Can you imagine if I had made it my goal to write 2 books this year? Just saying the sentence stresses me out. But we do this to ourselves all the time. We place unnecessary stress on ourselves to lose weight or to sit for an exam or to write a best-selling novel. Instead, you can keep things simple and reduce stress by focusing on the daily process and sticking to your schedule, rather than worrying about the big life-changing goals. When you focus on the practice instead of the performance, you can enjoy the present moment and improve at the same time. Number 2. Goals are strangely at odds with long-term progress. You might think your goal will keep you motivated over the long term, but that's not always true. Consider someone preparing for an important exam. Many people will work hard for months, but as soon as they take the exam, they stop studying. Their goal was to finish the exam, and now that they are done with it, the goal is no longer there to motivate them. When all of your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you achieve it? For the next exam? Or for the next big skill? This can create a type of yo-yo effect when people go back and forth from working on a goal to not working on one. This type of cycle makes it difficult to build upon your progress for the long term. Solution: release the need for immediate results. I was cleaning my apartment the other day and I was doing my last set of chores of mopping the floor and washing the AC filters. When I climbed the ladder to reach for the filters, I felt a small twinge in my leg. It wasn't painful or an injury, just a sign of fatigue near the end of my list of chores for the day. For a minute or two, I thought about finishing the work and to be done with it. Then I reminded myself that I've planned to do these chores for as long as I lived in that apartment, so I decided to call it a day. In a situation like the one explained here, a goal-based mentality will tell you to finish the work and reach for your goal. After all, if you set a goal and you don't reach it, then you feel like a failure. But with a systems-based mentality, I had no trouble moving on. Systems-based thinking is never about being done with the whole list in one day. It's about sticking to the process and not missing workouts. Of course, I know that I keep to my routine. Then I can have a few days off as well where I won't have to clean up everything. And that's why systems are more valuable than goals. Goals are about the short-term result. Systems are about the long-term process. In the end, the process always wins. Number 3. Goals suggest that you can control things that you have no control over. You can't predict the future. Yes, I know, that's shocking. But every time we set a goal, we try to do that. We try to plan out where we are and when we will make it there. We try to predict how quickly we can make progress, even though we have no idea what circumstances or situations will arise along the way. The solution: build feedback loops. Each Friday, I spend 15 minutes filling out a small notebook of what I have achieved from the list of stuff that I had made for the whole week. When I start seeing more red crosses than green ticks, I know that I need to ace up my game. Feedback loops are important for building good systems because they allow you to keep track of many different pieces without feeling the pressure to predict what is going to happen with everything. Forget about predicting the future and build a system that can signal when you need to make adjustments. None of this is to say that goals are useless. However, I've found that goals are good for planning your progress and systems are good for actually making progress. Goals can provide direction and even push you forward in the short term, but eventually a well-designed system will always win. Having a system is what matters. Committing to the process is what makes the difference. So, employing these simple system-oriented habits in my life, I feel more at peace and more relaxed with the outcome and output I give every day. The struggle spent pondering over the unpredictable is less, and more focus is on doing quality work. And the biggest plus is you get to keep your physical and mental well-being in check as well. How did you like this way of achieving inner satisfaction along with personal growth? Do you have your own sets of systems you employ in your everyday life? How are they helping you so far? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Also, don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified on informative videos. Guys, create systems rather than goals. Catch you in the next video.